On September 15th, was the day my MRI was scheduled. And I remember talking to my friend Michelle on the phone that morning, and I was just like, you know what, maybe everything is okay. And the truth is, I am hoping everything is okay, but I just want to cross that out so I have other options. Because at this point, all I was taking was pills and sleeping, and like there was no change. There was no change in my body. There was no change in the pain. Sometimes the pills wouldn't work. And I remember being on the phone with her that morning. I went to do the MRI at the hospital here in Wichita Falls. Got back home, was making breakfast to come to work, and I got a call from the doctor's office saying, you know, you need to come in so we can discuss your results. When I got there, he came in to the office and he said, so we have bad news. And so I'm just there smiling away because I'm thinking he was joking with me. Again, at this point, he kept telling me nothing would have been wrong. And so I just kept thinking, this is just me crossing something off the list. And when he said to me, you have a brain tumor, I was in shock for that entire day, if I'm being honest. Well, for majority of that day, I was in shock. And when he said it, my friend was still on the line, and I remember her trying to talk to me, and I'm like, just give me a second.
And I'm sure Nichelle would recall this conversation quite differently if we were to ask her.
And he handed me the paper in my hand. I have it here somewhere. And he started to explain, honestly, if I said I knew everything he said to me, I'd be lying. But the one thing that did stand out was him saying, we need to get this adjusted. We need to get this handled now. Like, this is important, this is a priority, and we need to schedule you to see a neurosurgeon. And that just went through one ear and went through the other one. All I remember was rage. Here I am sitting in this doctor's office with him, with the same results that I expected before. That something is wrong, and this person hadn't believed me for months. This is something that we could have caught months ago. This is something that we could have fixed, addressed, and now you're telling me I need a brain surgery. Just like that.
And you may be wondering why I'd be upset because, hey, it's good news. They caught it early, but to me, it wasn't early enough. I believe if due diligence was done months before and we found it, I would have been so scared yet grateful there wouldn't have been any place for anger.
I left that day, came to work. I remember Nichelle saying to me, you shouldn't go to work, like you need to go home, you need to figure it out, because again, I was just angry at one point, and then it moved from anger to disbelief. Like, gee, I really was hoping I was just overreacting. He told me the size of the tumor. It was really, decently sized tumor, pretty big, I guess, for that area. It was in my left frontal lobe.
Okay, so let's talk about it. This is an actual image of my brain after I think my second MRI after finding out. Focus on the area in red and green. In the red area, you see the tumor. My surgeon believed it had been growing for years, and while there's no way of telling, it could have been there since I was a child. Now, what is known, it is a slow-growing tumor, and this image is showing different stages of growth. In the green area is the swelling being caused by the tumor because, as the cursor right there shows you, it is pushing the brain off its axis, causing that midline shift, moving it in the opposite direction.
2 weeks later, so I got that news on September 15th. I saw the neurosurgeon a few days later. Dr. Luis Provenza, may his soul rest in peace.
Now, this is actually a topic in itself, but he did die in a plane crash in early May.
And on September 30th, I had a craniotomy done.
Hi, y'all. I'm putting on hospital stuff.
We're
not supposed to film, okay? Oh, well.
I was told that I would be in the hospital, be in the ICU for 4 days, in the hospital for another week. But, so help me God, I was out of the ICU in 24 hours, and I was out of the hospital within like 3 days or so. So I was released on October 3rd. I think my biggest takeaway from just the discovery of this tumor before I even get into the recovery phase is trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, and knowing your body. and asking those hard questions, no matter how many times someone, even if it's a doctor, tells you that everything is okay. There were a lot of times where I felt as though I was crazy because I kept going to him over and over again, month after month, saying something is wrong, something is wrong. And he kept doing this neurological exam. And because of the placement of my tumor, I wasn't really having many problems. The biggest issue I was having was the dark side at some points, and my ear would hurt really badly because the tumor was pushing against my brain. So the tumor's on the left side, and when you look at the MRI, which I'll try to drop a clip in here somewhere, my brain was being pushed out of place, so it was no longer on its axis. And so again, I think the biggest thing is believing your gut, believing in yourself, and actually trusting your body, regardless of what someone has to say. And I think that was my biggest issue, was I felt as though I trusted myself, but I was not as adamant as I could have been in the beginning. Surgery went well. I was told I was in surgery for 8 hours. So basically, my head was cut from the left, right above my ear, all the way to my right side, and stopped above here, didn't come all the way down. And that's when they went in and, thank God, removed all of the tumor that we know of as of today. I have metals and bolts or screws right now in the placement where the skull was, removed.
And this is where the hard part begins. Recovery was hard for me, not just physically, but emotionally. I learned so much about myself and felt pain literally and figuratively like I'd never felt before. That is up next. I'll see you soon.